This is a long time coming. New bottle, not new foam cannon, but new bottle for the best foam cannon on the planet, which is the MTM PF22. Old bottle, we'll open up the new bottle here in a second. But the problem with the old bottle, unless you have, I always keep a little bit of fluid in here, unless you have a little bit of liquid, it tends to do that. Shoot, I'm gonna scratch my countertops. But you get what I'm saying here. The bottle, if we take the liquid out, if it doesn't have at least, we have, how much do we have in here? We have about a half a liter, 500 milliliters of liquid is what it takes because of the head, the heaviness of the head of the original PF22. So the new version is called the PF22.2. Rob didn't consult me on the design of the box, so that's why it looks like this. Rob likes a lot of information, so just messing with you, Rob. So, Rob from Veloci. So, foam cannon, first of all, we set these up. So if it comes from me, this is how it's going to show up generally. It just depends on the configuration you order. But I'm giving people different configuration options depending on what size orifice nozzle inside of here, which size you might want or need on how we send it. But it's basically going to show up like this. In the box, new bottle, same head, same everything else. The box has to be different size in order to fit the new bottle, but the new bottle looks like so. And the entire response for the new bottle is so that it doesn't tip over even when it's empty. So the concept here is to have something that stands up. Pretty novel concept, pretty simple. It's taken a while to get to this point, but if you understand anything about blow molds and understand anything about plastics and production, you'd know that making a bottle like this costs hundreds of thousands of dollars, and that they have to design it, engineer it, build it, prototype it, probably throw some molds away until they eventually come up with a solution like so. And that's partially why it took them so long to make a bottle that is a little bit different, that responds to the weight of the head. So foam cannon gets set up like this. It comes with some junk in the box. Depending on the configuration you order, I normally take these out of the box and throw them away. I'm not trying to cheat you or short you. I just don't want to confuse people. And so it comes with a little package like this. So when you see it on the box that it comes with that and yours didn't have it, know that I took it out because you didn't freaking need it. So if you ordered it for a Krenzler, you order it for a Karcher, you order it for a Ryobi, you order it for whatever variant, depending on how you ordered the foam cannon, I'm going to take these parts out. We're going to put a better part in, which is a stainless 1/4-inch plug. And again, depending on the configuration you order from me on whether we've taped and torqued it, it'll always be taped. It's just a question. Sometimes when people order just a generic, just the foam cannon by itself is not part of a package. We don't know if you're going to want the 1.25 millimeter nozzle that comes with it, or you want the 1.1. So I send it depending on how you order it. You might have to man up and get a 14 millimeter wrench and tighten it down. 14 here, I think 18 here on the head. And if you have a vise, even better, you can sit it in a vise and tighten it down. So the MTM foam cannon, if you're not familiar, works like so. I'm gonna go grab another one so I can show you the insides of it. But you take your little tube and you slap it on here, and you should never have to take this off again. But you take your fill tube, put it on here, and then again, depending on the configuration, you'd have a plug on the inlet, and then you have a pattern adjustment. So if you look at the lines here, so straight line, if the straight line is pointing upward, then you have a flat fan. If the horizontal line is facing this way, then your fan is going to go flat like this. I've never used it any other way but this way, but I guess you could change it. The other thing that you do on every MTM foam cannon is just turn it to positive. So turn the soap adjustment to positive all the way. I don't find the need to do anything but full on. That's part of my request on the PF23, the new version that they're working on, which should be next year this time, is to make the soap injection knob or adjustment knob, make it so that you really want to be at 50%, so you'd want this kind of halfway, and then you have adjustment of positive or negative. Kind of like Orifice polishers, you run them at a 4, it goes to 6, but you have headroom for, you know, if you wanted to try to grab a little bit more soap and suck through the soap that's in the bottle for whatever reason, because you want a heavier concentration. But for this, set it to positive. And from this point forward, unless you have super, super hard water, there's no negative, there's no maintenance, there's no issues, there's nothing you really need to do. Just what I do is just dunk it in my rinse bucket right after I finish foaming the car down, and just kind of shake out the bottle and go throw it on the shelf, and it sits there ready to go. So the main difference, the PF22.2, new box, new bottle, other than that, it's the same thing. Depending on when you're watching this video, we're gonna go out and demonstrate it in a minute, so keep calm, don't get too excited. Depending on when you order it, for a while, you know, I still have 600, 700 of these sitting around. And so what we're gonna do is send it like this, so you get both. So I bought a bunch of new bottles. I bought like 50% of the future US stock. And so the bottle is gonna come with the old bottle. So let me go grab one of these and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So this is a brand new foam cannon. So here's the box difference. Old box, new box. That old box comes with the same stuff. So it looks like this. The foam cannon sits, or the foam cannon bottle sits here. The tube kind of sits loose. Then you have the head, and then the junk that we don't need. And then they both come with a 1.1 millimeter nozzle. So a 1.1 millimeter Orifice internal nozzle, I guess you could say. This is what dictates how much water flows through the top of the cannon. So when it comes to me, or to you from me, it's dependent on which size. You'd always want to assume, if there isn't, from me, if there isn't a plug installed, then it's a 1.25. If there's a plug installed, then it's been set up for, you know, either if you bought a Krenzla, it's set up for a Krenzla with 1.25. If you bought a Karcher, it's got a 1.1, it's set up for that. But it, just in case, just for everybody here, for all us friends here, grab a screwdriver. So comes with 1.25, you have a Ryobi, you want to swap to a 1.1, there's a little blade or a little flat spot. See it? See the flat spot? Take a screwdriver, put it on the flat spot, turn, keep turning, take, dump it out. That's what it looks like. This is a 1.25. Problem is, it doesn't say 1.25 on there anywhere. But if you have half a brain, which I know all of you have a full brain, you take this out, you drive to HQ and you go to Kyle, because Kyle's the expert, on 1.1 versus 1.25. You can see it. The hole is smaller. I take the new one to 1.1, I drop it in there like so, kind of wiggle it around to get it to sit flush. Take my screwdriver, it's really hard to cross thread. Don't cross thread it. Go like that. You don't have to worry about tightening too tight, just give it a little sauce and you're good to go. So now it's a 1.1. We're gonna be using it on the Krenzla, so we want a 1.25. Don't put a 1.1 on anything north of 1.9 gallons a minute. Just don't do it. You're gonna blow up your pressure washer. I'm freaking telling you. 1.25 on most pressure washers is making it work really hard, even on the Krenzla. You know, we're technically overamping the machine, causing too much current draw. So, new foam cannon, old foam cannon, they all come the same way. So that the head of the foam cannon is the same. You just choose what size orifice. Anything, you can almost go by price. Anything under 500 bucks is gonna need a 1.1. Anything over is gonna need the 1.25. In some cases, if you had a really monster pressure washer, like a 3 gallon a minute or greater, you'd want to swap to a 1.5 size orifice, which is a bigger hole, so you don't beat the crap out of the machine. So again, a base PF22. We're going to give people for a while. People are going to be getting this combination. We're going to send it in a box just like this, nice and wrapped up, all nice and pretty. And then in the future, then depending on when you're watching this video, and it probably won't last very long, this is the better deal because this is 88 bucks. This one here is 90 bucks. Single bottle, 2 bottles. So for a little while, we're going to send this equipped, ready to go with a stainless plug, and you're going to save $2 in the deal and get a $10, $15 bottle separately. The other thing that's going to be available is if you have one of these and you want the new bottle, like I said, I think I bought like 3,000 of them. So I bought a boatload of these so that you could buy a new bottle. What are the bottles? I think they're 15 bucks, something like that. 14, 15 bucks. You can buy a new bottle, and then you can put it on. The threads are the same. I just showed you the heads are the same. You don't have to adjust or change anything. The suction tube is the same. And actually, let's check that out. Is the suction tube the same? Yeah, they're the same. So if you do, for a limited time only, get the PF22 with the PF22.2 bottle, everything else is the same, so it should bolt right up. Okay, so now that we're set up, Bryce already torqued this on here for me, so this is ready to go. Again, I think it's 18 millimeter and 14 millimeter. Take an 18 millimeter. We got a giant tool chest here, so why don't we just do it? Is it 18? 18. Take the 18, put it on there. Take the 14, if you have ratcheting, even better. Put it on there, tighten it down. Bro tip, if you don't have a vise, take it on your table like this and tighten like this. Right, so it's already tight, so I don't need to tighten it. Just push this way. See how this wrench holds it in place. The opposite is if you needed to take it off because you needed to change it, and all these bros call us and say, man, I can't get this off. You guys put it on too tightly. Same thing with a Cobra Jet hose. Take it the opposite way and just push down, and it'll loosen up nicely. If we don't tighten these and torque these properly, then they leak, and you don't want it to leak. So there's a bro tip for you. Don't use frickin' channel locks and all. You go to the Home Depot and buy some frickin' tools. It'll cost you 18 bucks. As a man, you need it anyway. Even a woman, you need it as well. Michelle needs tools. Okay, so let me show you how to fill this up. We have dilution ratio on the side, just like the other. I'm gonna have to retrain myself what 150 milliliters looks like because the bottom of the bottle is quite a bit fatter. So let me grab some soap and we'll set this up and I'll demonstrate it for you. I should never do product-specific videos when I'm polishing because I get real cranky. I'm sure you'll let me know in the comments. Okay, so I'm gonna take my soap, Adam soap. See that, Bryce? I can smile.
Fake a smile.
It's not fake, it's real. All right, so we're gonna go to the third line. That seems like a lot. Yeah, I think that's about it. I mean, if that's 250, then the third line would be 150. We're gonna waste 150 milliliters of soap. I think it might only be the second line. No, it's definitely the third line. I know how many squeezes it takes. I'm that good. I'm that experienced of a detailer. I've been detailing for 47 years. Combined experience with diplomas on the wall. Okay, so I'm gonna go grab some water. We'll hook it up to our pressure washer and we'll foam the wall. How's that sound? I promise I'll have like literally 500 videos over the next year using this foam cannon on a car in the wash bay. So just chill. Okay, good news is I I got indication from Osmatic that there was a strike in France and that all of our stuff was sitting at port and couldn't leave, all the new Osmatic guns. Look at that, there's like no bulk there. This isn't even the new Osmatic fitting, this is the old MTM. But that's where the magic's at. Amazing Cobra Jet hose, this is what you want in your life, I'm telling you. All right, so let's get our foam cannon set up here. So I put some soap in, do the fingy trick. Just don't get your finger stuck in there, that would be bad. Shake it up. If you don't shake up your soap, then you'll end up sucking out all the soap in the first, few seconds and you'll be screwed. Always screw the bottle on to the top, not the top onto the bottle. It's plastic on metal. So just don't do that. Okay. Old one, new one. Turn the knobs all the way up to positive. Then you have this magical little connection here where I take this and I just clip it on. Don't be that guy on Instagram with a 40-foot frickin' wand with your 5-pound foam cannon on the end of it, holding it out like a moron, like with it 40 feet away from you. Do this. This is so much better. I can control this better. I can adjust. I can do everything that needs to be done right from here, instead of trying to hold it out and trying to adjust it. You like that, Bryce? Is that a good demo? You're like, let me set it down. Let me set it down. Let me go over here and adjust my foam cannon. No, just do this. See it? Cool? Oh, yeah. That's creamy. You can foam the whole freaking building. This is in response to all those freaking douchebags talking about how you need to show a demonstration of a bucket filler. It's a freaking bucket filler. I'm telling you it's good. I don't care if it's on QVC. It's good. It's good. But this works. Look. Boom. Turn it up, turn it down, good to go. That's all we need. But the problem is that it falls over, and so unless you have some soap in it, it tends to tip. This one, you'd have a hard time tipping it. I don't want to scratch my new one. But that looks pretty good. I like how it contours. Let's see about this. But look at that. Look at that shaving cream. That's what you want, though. There's a happy medium. If you get too much soap, it just kind of falls off the car. And so you want it to foam up nicely so it clings. And so like right at the edge of shaving cream, and then you want it to slowly carry down the surface, and and just kind of sit there and hopefully leave enough soap on there where you can tell where you've been. But that's what I'm looking for in foam. You don't need so much foam that it falls off immediately, but you don't want it to be so watery that you can't even tell where you've been when you're washing. So that's the PF22.2. By the time you're watching this, I've got them. I've got a boatload of them, actually we don't have a boatload of them yet. But they'll be rolling in here pretty quickly. So I wouldn't be too concerned if you don't get one of the first ones. There's going to be plenty of them. But you can also, if you'd like, you can buy a 22.2, the 0.2 bottle, and put it on the 0.1. Everything mates up properly. So there you go. MTM PF22.2 in January 2020. Pretty sweet. I'm pumped about that. Catch you on the next one. Who's calling me? Get out of here. All right. Foam. What are you doing to me? You got to turn it on. Gee whiz, Bryce, you're making me look bad.
It turned off. You heard it.
I'm over here doing this dance and everything. This soap has been sitting in here for, I don't know, a couple of weeks since we did our Stupid Joe or Bucket Joe test. And I bet you this soap doesn't foam very well. So now let's see, let's do this quick little test and it'll prove me wrong here. The water's pretty hard here. I think it's like 160 parts per million, something like that. All right, prove me wrong. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I'm not lying to you. I would never lie to you. Oh, that's cool. Because you definitely can't do that with the other one. Or I can just kind of leave the gun on and try to get it. Well, all of my theories are being proven wrong. Yeah, this one's harder to, but I guess you could. Scratch that. Cut that part out, Bryce. Cut everything out. Just make me look good. So anyway, new foam cannon. Never make videos when I'm in the middle of polishing because I don't want to kill somebody. Good. Back to polishing. Turn that camera off. There's gonna be some radio gold in here.